Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to We're Offended, You're Offended. I'm Kim. This is Tyler. And this is our very first episode of year 2022. Ooh. Ah.
Hey, it
Hope
feels well. How does the expression go? The old boss or the new boss, same as the old boss.
I have no idea.
I think that's how the expression go.
All right. Well, hope everybody
Um,
had a fantastic New Year's Eve. And hopefully everybody, did their little New Year's resolutions and all that such. We did not get any comments though as to what your New Year's resolution is. So here's your second chance. Leave in the comment section below what your New Year's resolution is for this year. And yeah, and don't forget you can check us out on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, Anchor, and we have our Facebook group and Twitter and Instagram. So don't forget to check us out in any of those places. Also, Discord if you want to come play with us. And apparently, our link that we had in the description box below for our Discord was not working. So I apologize for that. And it has been updated. So click the link, come play with us, come hang out with us. And yeah.
okay, so
Why for you laughing?
all right, okay, so before we, okay, so yeah, you can always just check us out on our socials and stuff. I was just quickly perusing Twitter, and from a twat, well, a twat from the Liberal Party forgot to make a New Year's resolution. Join the team that's focused on keeping Canada moving forward. It's free. To which I responded, towards what? Unemployment? Hate? It's free. You've cost Canadians millions. Get fucked, idiot.
Oh, snap.
Oh, I am, like I said, New Year, same bullshit. So, I guess, I guess the big thing for me.
You sounded like you broke for a second. Like,
Well, kind of, yeah. But so, I guess the first story. Well, this is the big thing was Arthur Pawlowski. So for anyone that is living under a rock, is a Canadian pastor in in Calgary or Edmonton. Calgary.
Yeah.
So he's been arrested again over Christmas, and for feeding the homeless. For feeding the homeless, he was arrested. So we got that story.
What?
Oh yeah.
Are you kidding me?
This is why. So if anyone follows is in our Facebook group, you see I went on a bit of a tear this morning because that's unfucking believable. But okay. But we also have for Manitoba and for the rest of Canada, guess what? Everything's going to cost more. You're going to have to give the government more money so that they can be ineffective, corrupt, useless, as always.
Great. Can't wait.
We have public ministers telling Twitter to people are saying bad words on the internet. Make it stop.
Bad words in general or about them?
Oh, directed at them because they're fucking useless.
Aw, I'm a fan.
They're freaking sorry. I'm really trying not to swear, and it's so hard because these people enrage me.
Right?
And so, and then we also have again in Manitoba is looking at security changes because people said bad words.
Oh my God.
Dr. Rosen, Mr. Rosen, fuck you. You don't even earn that title. You're probably Kamala Harris your way into that position, didn't you? I bet you did. You fucking and sucking your way up that corporate ladder, big boy. But so, anyways, all right. So let's get
Monica Lewinsky style.
So yeah, no, Kamala Harris literally fucked the mayor of San Diego, and suddenly she was the district attorney. I believe is district. So
is that all? I don't know.
I don't know U.S. Yeah, I told you. You just like when I say she fucked and sucked her way up the corporate ladder. or the like the political ladder. She literally did. Not made up. It's the truth. Look it up.
Wow.
All right. So, anyways, let's get into this first one. So, from Winnipeg Sun, and it is titled "For Manitobans, It's Going to Cost More Next Year." So, this article. So, um, so I guess one thing that Manitoba is supposed to be doing is taking the property tax off, so you will not be paying property tax for like school tax. School tax is going to be taken off of property tax. Okay, which sounds great. So they're saying people will save approximately $1,100 over the year. So
Wow.
the Canadian Taxpayer Federation, but the Canadian Taxpayer Federation noted this. Streaming services like Netflix, as well as online accommodation and online marketplaces, are now subject to a 7% provincial sales tax. Personal services like hairstyling, non medical skincare, and spa treatments will be exempt from provincial sale tax. Vehicle registration fees are set to drop 10% by 2023. Canada's inflation rate is around 4.7, remaining at an 18-year high. Good job, government. Good job. The
Wait, wait,
government.
wait.
Mhm.
Netflix and streaming services like that are going to be subject to provincial taxes.
Yeah.
How is that remotely anything regarding provincial?
Uh, um, I don't know what you mean.
Well, okay. When I think of things being like provincial taxes, I don't know. Like, I don't know, things that you
Like,
do like every day, your, I guess your hydro or whatever. I don't know. Like things like that is what I just don't understand how Netflix, something that was probably designed in the States, that's literally just over the internet, how somebody can tax that. Like that's what doesn't make any sense to me. I don't get it.
uh, well, if Netflix operates, which obviously they're going to have to, so everything's going to be more expensive, basically. Well, actually, they have a little bit more here, but yeah, it's if you buy anything online, because before, yeah, you were not doing business. You did not have a operating license in that province. You just shipped it there. But government's gonna government. So just like every corrupt organization, every gang member or every gang group, they want their cut. But so this continues on with, so the government has decided to raise people's taxes,
Oh
using
my
inflation
God.
as a cover. Conservative Party of Canada MP and finance critic Pierre Poilievre told Post Media in November, the inflation tax is the most regressive tax there is. It balloons the net worth of the billionaire class by increasing the value of assets they own, while chewing up the purchasing power of the working class. So this is the juicy. This is where I start to get a little go Super Saiyan. For those making 40,000 a year or more in 2022, federal income taxes are going up due to increasing payroll taxes. Oh, the federal government's carbon tax is also increasing from $40 per ton to 50. So is now going to cost more to heat your home, to purchase fuel for your vehicle, to do everything. So everything is going up, raising the current 8.84 cents per liter carbon tax to 11.05
Oh my
cents.
God.
It will cost an extra $8.40 to fill a minivan, the Canadian Taxpayer Federation explained. A second carbon tax is expected to raise fuel prices by 11 cents a liter in 2030. So your costs are going up. So I hope everyone is really happy with that. I hope
This
you
is
like
some bullshit.
oh, it's not done yet. CPP contributions are also increasing for the fourth year in a row in 2022, said the Canadian Taxpayer Federation. Adding the EI tax rate will remain the same, but maximum insurable earnings will increase. Alcohol taxes are also going up by the rate of inflation. Cigarettes are going up $4 a carton. Vaping could be more expensive, with a possible tax increase of $1 per 100 milligrams. Federal income tax or milliliter, sorry. Federal income tax will be reduced for some due to the basic personal amount increasing from 13.8 to 14.4. Manitoba hydro rates will increase January 1st. They announced Friday that a 3.6 interim increase has been approved, and Hydro is seeking a 5% hike. The city of Winnipeg raised some fees in 2022. Property taxes are going up as planned by 2.33%. Average homeowners will pay an additional $43. Doesn't sound like a lot, but beginning January 1st, new transit fares are also going up. Senior and youth, going up. North End sewage treatment plant upgrade, meaning average homeowners will pay an additional $34.
Well, no, that might
So,
not sound like a big chunk of cash when you think about it, but when you think about all the other increases that they're implementing, that is a
mhm,
lot of money. Like as it
yeah,
is the average person, and I'm not talking people who are working minimum wage or have a higher paying job. I'm talking about like the medium, right? Your average.
yeah,
It's already hard enough for any of the average people to be able to afford their home and food and a vehicle and whatnot. Like if I were to go out on my own right now, something would have to go. Like
yeah.
I would not be able to afford my vehicle plus a home. Like rent taxes, mortgage taxes, everything. All your bills is so bloody expensive that somebody in the average range can't even afford, let alone people who are working minimum wage jobs. Oh no, there's no possible way one of those people could be living on their own. You have to be earning a fork ton in order to be able to be on your own or have multiple people in a home. Like it's oh my god.
So it's what's incredible to me. So lock everyone down. And I've been saying this long before we started this podcast, long before is CPP is a Ponzi scheme. It's been a Ponzi scheme for decades. Decades. And everyone's just, oh, well, I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine. No, that's why they're hiking CPP because less people are paying into it. Those old people want their money. What like they should be entitled to, but this is why I do not rely on the government for anything. I don't trust them. I don't trust that they have my best interest at heart. Well, everything was good intentions. Everything. I thought I was doing the right thing, but
Well, what's that saying?
uh
The roadway to hell is paved with good intentions.
yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So, I do not trust that the government is going to do the things that are in my best interest, a constituent's best interest. I'm still waiting for that phone call, Ralph Eichler. I'm still waiting for that phone call from about 2 months ago. So please, if you'd love to get back to me, I'd love to have a conversation of the lack of anything that you're doing. So please, please, I'd love to understand why you're so okay. Is it because you're old and you're scared? Or do you actually care about your constituents? Because the riding you're in, nobody gives a flying fuck. But okay. Anyways, yeah.
So
So
this year is off with a bang so far.
yeah. So everything's gonna cost you more. So yeah, let's shut everything down. Let's not let people being able to fend for themselves become dependent on a government, and then just devalue everything.
Well, don't die.
Shit, choked on my spit.
Ew.
I'm so
Are you
angry.
new? Just learned how to
It happened.
swallow?
Yeah. Know what I mean? Huh?
Uh,
But
uh,
so but so, I don't remember what the fuck I was.
everything's gonna cost more.
Well, yeah, okay, so yeah, so we shut down businesses, people aren't allowed to go to work. Government gets a pay increase, government services get a pay increase, and, the people that are hurt by this the most are already struggling, now they get to struggle more. That's good. That's very progressive. I love being able to tell the poor, the uneducated, the people that are just trying to live day to day. I'd love to see that they become homeless and they become destitute and reliant on a government that can't even afford to pay them. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so progressive. It's almost regressive. Like,
Yeah.
like the thing with the cigarettes, I understand. I think, like, if anyone actually built a product that literally had the desired result as cigarettes have, they'd be outlawed. It would 100%. If the end use of cigarettes was on anything else, it would be outlawed. But it's
The thing
interesting because cigarettes in India, like little beaties, anyone that's been to India or anyone that's had them, they are completely different to the cigarettes that are in North America. And I was a smoker for many, many years. I've quit, but I'm vaping. So, I traded one bad habit for a significantly less bad habit, but, government needs their cut because they're a fucking corrupt organization. So, you know, something that's supposed to be healthier, something that's supposed to help, be an aid, no, tax the fuck out of it because less and less people are smoking.
Oh,
So they're
yeah,
going to
but
squeeze every single dollar.
not even just that. Well, then they wanna take away the flavors because it's appealing to children, which is funny because, okay, for one, in order to go into these places, you need to be 18 or over,
Of age.
depending on
Yeah.
whatever province that you're in, okay? 2,
Hmm.
when I was younger and my parents smoked, trust me, they didn't smell like frickin' lollipops and rainbows. They reeked, and yet I still wanted to do it because, that's what we do. Because that's how kids are, unfortunately. So you just have to, and the thing is, we weren't taught the same, um, I guess, hazards in school that they're taught now. Like, we just knew smoking's bad for you. Mwah, okay. Well, when I started smoking, I was 14 years old, and it was before there was any warning labels on cigarettes, anything, right? And
You used to be encouraged to smoke. It was
oh my
doctor
God.
recommended.
Not
Like,
even okay, well, yeah, if you wanna go even back further, they used to have pictures of children smoking. Yes, it was recommended, and the
yeah,
funny thing is smoking before used to be something that it was just the elite would do. Like, you'd see all the fancy movie stars, they would be smoking and it was like a cool thing to do, but that was before smoking was actually addictive. Then the government stepped in and was like, "Hey, we got an idea here." They started putting a whole bunch of chemicals in it to make it addictive so then people would be addicted to it because everybody's looking up to those celebrities and they're going to want to do the cool thing. So they get people hooked on smoking and then they turn around and they're like, "Oh, okay, well, now we're going to tax the heck out of you. We're going to do this, we're going to do that." And it's like, you guys are the ones that literally started this. Beforehand, the tobacco industry was just that. It was just tobacco. They weren't addictive. They didn't have the nicotine and all the other rat poison and carcinogens and all the other bajillion chemicals that are in it now.
yeah,
Like it wasn't. So
no,
you
yeah.
could,
It was just straight tobacco.
yeah, which is nothing harmful. So, and then you have people
Well,
encouraging,
s-
okay, well, not to the extent that it is.
inhaling anything smoke. Okay, it's probably not good for you,
Yeah.
but yeah, let's to take like a fucking medical syringe and just go, just shove it in there. It's
Right. Well, then you have,
yeah,
yeah. So they encourage this, they make it addictive. And now they're coming and saying, "Oh, okay, well, we're gonna take away the flavors from the vaping because it's too enticing for children." Well, guess what, dumb forks? It was encouraging to children the entire time. It's just something that kids are gonna be curious about, and back in the day when I first started smoking, I didn't have the same type of knowledge that I do now, and I try to inform my children of the bad things and tell them, "Don't smoke." Yes, okay, I'm vaping and I used to smoke and these are the risks or whatever that I'm taking, but I still try to give my children the proper information that's out there. And you're going to take things away from people who are actually helping them to quit smoking and you're going to what? They want to just bring in just tobacco flavors and menthol? Really?
well, no,
If
they
that's
even ban. they even banned menthol, and then you have to put it in. Like this. So I know we're kind of getting a little off topic here, but it's already illegal for children to possess vaping products, to possess tobacco, to possess alcohol, to possess weed. It's
Yep.
already illegal. So, as the expression goes, more laws, less justice. Okay, so you're already making something illegal that's illegal, which okay. Yeah, I don't think kids should be vaping. I don't think kids should be smoking, but the thing is they're going to. Like, if someone wants to do it, they're going to do it. Laws mean nothing if someone wants to do something bad enough.
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm just amazed that people like, hey, maybe people just have so much money that they're just, hey, you know what? Yeah, I'm happy spending another $300-400 a month on everything. So I don't know. And it's amazing how much of our industry we are losing, but yet we're still hamstringing ourselves. We're still taking ourselves out at the knees. And yeah. All right. So let's go. Do you have anything else to say, or should we move on?
Now we can move on. I could sit here and complain about this for a while, so
Okay.
let's move
So the
on, shall
public.
we?
All right. So from the Toronto Star, public safety minister calls on Twitter to act after CMA, so the Canadian Medical Association president, Dr. Kathleen Smart, is targeted by online abuse.
Hold
Public
on. Did you
safety
guys hear
minister.
that? My eyes rolled so hard. I'm pretty sure China just heard.
So, Public Safety Minister Marco Mendicino called on Twitter Canada to address online abuse directed at a Canadian Medical Association president, Dr. Kathleen Smart. Smart was targeted by abuse on Twitter on December 22nd by a poster who tweeted about seeing the doctor and her family for weeks. In a letter addressed to Twitter Canada's managing director, Paul Burns, Mendicino called for the tweet to be removed. The clear intent of this tweet was to intimidate the doctor and her family and interfere with her work during the pandemic. In response to the abusive post last week, Smart tweeted, Twitter safety told me that this tweet did not violate their rules, further condemning that threats, harassment, and intimidation are not acceptable. I've been trying to find what the actual tweet was. I
Okay, I was
wasn't
gonna ask you
actually.
that because I'm like, I don't understand. They've been seeing them, what are they like implying that they've been stalking them, or
Uh, I'm gonna see. Maybe I can find it. What the hell's her stupid name? Doctor Catherine Smart. Let's see. What if I put in uh abusive tweets? No, intimidating. In
see
intimidating
if anybody's watching this.
tweets.
You can see how slow our internet is.
Twitter Canada asked. So see what CTV asked. I want to see what was actually said because I haven't been able to find. Oh, okay, so this is literally the fucking verbatim. Very good job, guys. Public Safety Minister Mark Mendicino asked Twitter Canada leadership to remove what is he characterized as an abusive tweet aimed to intimidate the president of Canadian Medical Association. I would. Oh, posted by Ask the Brown Doc. It reads, "Are you scared you are next at Catherine Smart? Catherine, fuck whatever. A group of us who can't stand you have been seeing you and your family for weeks from a safe distance in public spaces, of course, and already have some great footage. Just biding our time for the perfect time.
Ooh.
By invoking the threat of sustained surreptitious and exploitative video surveillance, the intent of the December 22nd tweet is clear, namely to interfere with the professional healthcare responsibilities of Dr. Smart and other public health officials by discouraging advice regarding vaccination, travel, and social distancing. Okay, so obviously threatening someone isn't isn't right. Like, I don't think you
No,
should actually threaten harm on someone else. But just
no.
to say that we've been watching you. So are you scared you are next? Okay, well that's kind of
Next in what
innocuous.
aspect then?
Well, yeah, a group of us who can't stand you have been seeing you and your family for weeks. I would assume on television and in public. Okay, well, you're free to film whoever you want in public and already have some great footage. So I'm sure they're aiming for something, but I don't know.
Well, and it doesn't really say too much of what the footage might be. Like, we have some great footage of what? Them not social distancing, them not masking, them not saying or doing the things that they're protesting that everybody else say and do. Like,
You know what?
in what?
Actually, the fact that you bring that up, like how many politicians, Jagmeet Singh, the same person that said that, the unvaccinated, all the selfish people are carrying on this virus when he was literally filmed hugging other people without a mask on. So, oh, it was a lapse in judgment, Kim. It was a lapse in I understand. We're all trying to do our best, but I'm literally going to call people out and say that they're disgusting pieces of shit.
Yeah, I'll show
So
you a lapse of judgment as I'm getting ticketed from the police for like $1,000 for hugging
yeah,
someone. Okay, where's your
oops.
ticket? Hey, Sparky,
Oh
you're the one that's caught on camera. So,
yeah, we are calling on Twitter to. Oh, okay. So this was from the Marco. Whatever. Okay, so whatever. I'll share this article with you. It doesn't really. Whatever. It doesn't really matter. So it seemed kind of interesting that well this was so on December 30th. So from Global News, Manitoba eyes security changes as threats to politicians to appear to be on the rise. Oh, they said mean words. Being a politician, the Global News one. So that yeah. So being a politician or public health officer seems to bring much more of a security risk as of late. From online threats to angry crowds at public events to protests outside family homes. In
yeah.
Manitoba, some changes have been made and more are being proposed to try to ensure serving in public office doesn't mean putting one's personal safety at risk. I have a big I shut up. I have a big problem with this. So I'll continue on with this article, and then you know what? I don't think people should be protesting going to someone's house. I
No.
don't think you should be doing that. You should not be going to someone's personal residence. I don't think that that's right.
No, I mean, the thing is,
Absolutely,
you wanna protest against something, I'm totally game for that, but, I mean, they work in a public office and it's due to their work that you have an issue, okay, well, protest outside their work or whatever, but not their
yeah,
home, like, come on, there's boundaries there, that's not okay, like, if they have kids and stuff, to put their kids through that, that's not okay. Use some common
yeah.
sense.
No, go after the person's ideas. Don't attack people. Like why? I understand people are upset. Hey, I'm one of them. Absolutely, I'm one of them. I'm very displeased with how this government just and how I hold the government, I wouldn't say to a higher standard, but they're supposed to, be a representation. And if and I've said it before, if that is a representation to all of us, you're all a bunch of cowards. And we'll continue with that kind of thing with the Arthur's thing. But so I have a big problem of a public official saying, well, I'm going to enact these things and now I'm going to add, they're already out of touch enough, but let's add another layer because we need security. Yeah, because if you're so sure, if your convictions are that strong about what you are voting on, then you would have nothing to be afraid of.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
Like, you seen, like, well, the everyone remember, like, Martin Luther King, he was shot and killed, but he didn't sit and stand around with security, shielding him from everyone. He was in those rallies. He was pushing them. He was so sure of his convictions that he wasn't afraid. But it's weird that our government is so afraid of citizens protesting, like, really, to protest a fucking fundamental right that they're not allowed to protest in public. Hmm.
What I find
Shut.
funny
Like,
though is that okay, it's okay for them to protest against the cops and hold defund the police. It's okay for them to protest for Black Lives Matter, for All Lives Matter, for whatever. They're allowed to it's okay for them to riot. And even though people are like, "Well, no, it's not okay for them to riot." They allowed it to happen repeatedly, okay? So, it's okay for that. But as soon as the citizens protest against government, right away it's whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, we need to lock this stuff down. We need to get Twitter to get this stuff off of there. And it didn't matter all the other stuff that they put all over Twitter or Facebook or whatever with cops' addresses, their home addresses and stuff like that.
literally doxing.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's okay. But as soon as you sit there and go, okay, no, something's not right here, and you go at the government officials who are saying these things and you're saying, no, this is not okay, and you protest against it, now they start locking things down. Do we not see this here? Do we not see how this thing works? This social standard, how, you know, just the everyday people, whatever. But as soon as you get to the elites or whatever, it's right away, we need to bring this down. Like how does that make any sense whatsoever? How is that okay?
Well, it's not. It like, so here, I'll continue on with this article a little bit more, and as always, everything that we like talk about, if we can cite it, it will be linked in the description. So read at your leisure. So Manitoba's three main political parties are discussing a few changes to the Election Act, and this was that they do not have to show their home address, which, okay, I think is fine. The opposition New Democrats have put forward a private member's bill in the legislature that would establish buffer zones around hospitals, schools, daycare centers, and the homes of many kinds of healthcare workers. The bill, which would need support from the progressive conservative government to pass, would ban any protest against COVID-19 restrictions within the buffer zone.
Really?
I have a big problem with that. I
Mhm.
have a big problem. I like I said, I'm not a fan of people blocking a hospital. Protest all you want. In public, protest all you want. It's supposed to be a right, but it's interesting. If a government's willing to violate any one of your rights, then they'll violate all of your rights.
Well, I think
So,
it's kind of comical though too that it's like it's very specific that it would ban any protest against COVID-19 restrictions.
yeah,
Um,
it's
but
the,
anything
the,
else,
I,
that's cool. Just don't
the
you be
irony.
protesting.
It's kind of the irony in that. But so, okay, so Premier Heather Stephenson is considering more security for officials at public events. I feel safe, and this is why, you fucking throw your hat on with any group. Of course, you're always going to find something to go, like, you know, I don't know what. I feel safe, but more recently, there has been some security that we have brought on board. And so we're trying to see what does that look like, making sure that we don't go overboard, but that we're looking at the safety and security of everybody. The most visible sign of security changes occurred outside the home of then Premier Brian Pallister earlier this year. Oh, the 9,000 square foot mansion had been in public spotlight in 2012 when some media outlets reported on Pallister purchasing the $2 million property. The number of
Wow.
protests outside the property increased during the pandemic. I wonder why. Like, see, this is the thing. People are allowed to protest. People are allowed to. Like, yeah, people are mad at you. People are upset that you have taken their livelihoods away. You've divided them. You've called people that don't get vaccinated evil plague rats. You've literally called our rights privileges. You're a fucking tyrant. That's why I see people. Okay.
Breathe.
it's it's frustrating. It's really frustrating, and like it's upsetting that, well, I'm making the hard decision by locking everyone down. No, you're not. You're a coward. You're a loser. That's all you are, is a loser.
Yeah, well, you sit
You don't
comfy in your $2 million mansion and ride
I don't
jets
care about
everywhere.
that. I don't, honestly, I couldn't care less. I couldn't. But the only thing that bugs me is the people that are well off, they can afford it. They can afford to sit somewhere and just ride it out. They're okay to do that. Most people aren't. You know, the big exciting of go buy this, buy that, indebt yourself, have unbearable debt. Do it. Come on, you deserve it. You deserve whatever you have. So live paycheck to paycheck, live in debt, go more and more into debt. Everything will be good. But then when the government says you cannot work, well, someone has to pay for that house, someone has to pay for that car. Taxes, they didn't give you a break on your taxes. No, government still chugged along. They got their checks every month. They still got their salary. Not like they stopped. It's so out of touch. It's I don't know,
Yeah.
something needs to change. I am getting really tired. I am getting really tired of being told that I'm too dumb. I don't know what's good for me, so the government needs to spend more. No. No. I think politicians, if anything, their wages should be frozen. If anything, if they were really, about their constituents, they would take a massive pay cut. Massive. But they don't, because they don't give a fuck. They don't. It's like I said, I really don't care about a $2 million property. Hey, good for him. Like, I'm not going to fault someone because they have a nice home that they've, owned businesses and they've worked for it. I don't give a shit.
No,
Why?
it's more so, pardon me, the fact of what you had brought up, that there are people out there who can afford to sit at home and ride it out. Clearly he can afford it. He can also afford to.
Well, he owns a nice big insurance company where he gets lots of money from, from our public insurance. So, he gets a cut. He
Don't even
makes
get
his
me
money.
started.
Yeah. So, like I said, I don't care about the how much he spent on a property. Good. It better be fucking nice for $2 million. Otherwise, you got ripped off. Like if you have a $2 million fucking bungalow in Toronto, well, So it's more the well. It, so for anyone that's in a business, it should be, I would never ask my employees to do something that I would not do myself. So you have to look in that situation. He still got paid. He still got paid. Yet he told the people that are literally paying our public servants, quote unquote, literally paying his salary. And
Yep.
Heather Stephenson, you know what? Fuck you too. I mean, fork you too. Sorry, I'm trying.
See, and that's the thing too, that like he he picked and chose. There we go. Choose isn't a word, but anyway,
Tuesday.
he pick and chose which businesses could stay open, what businesses could stay closed, what were considered essential, what were non-essential. You know, uh, he allowed for bigger corporations to get bigger. He allowed for the mom and pop stop shops to go under. And the funny thing is, then you have something where, okay, so your insurance brokers. I don't know if anybody noticed, but during when everything was in a lockdown, all the brokers' offices, they were closed. They were allowed to do transactions over the phone. They were able to lock their doors. Nobody was able to come in. They just did everything through email, through over the phone. But yet,
Yeah.
if you drove by an MPI, they were open. They had to stay
Yeah.
open. So, and it's kind of funny because you hear that, okay, well, Pallister has his own insurance brokerage. So it was really nice for him to decide that anybody who is in a broker's office, that their jobs were considered, and their lives, I guess, were considered more valuable than that of, Manitoba Public Insurance. Like, really? Like, that makes absolutely no sense to me. It was crazy to see how like, all the brokers were closed, everything. But yet an MPI, they were open.
Yeah, well, and it was liquor was still available. Lottery was still available. It's weird. The I want to say like the degenerate habits, but you know what I mean. Like, the things that are supposed to be kind of as a fun, like a group thing, but you left those open, still collecting all those tax dollars. It's
Yeah,
interesting how you did that.
those are the addictions. You don't wanna get rid of the addictions, the alcoholism, the gambling, stuff like that. You gotta let those keep going, baby. Mhm.
Well, and you see, like, we were saying this, well, like, and the funny thing is, like, I've been saying this stuff in private. Like, before we started this, was the amount of abuse that has gone up. This substance abuse, spousal abuse, divorce, all this stuff has gone up. And they're just, huh, cost of doing business. Oh,
Oh,
well.
suicide rates, the fact that even kids younger, getting more and more issues, depressed, suicide rates, like, it's insane. The amount of domestic violence. I was talking to somebody who works for CFS, Child and Family Services. Honestly, they are so just bogged down because the amount of, again, domestic abuse and family abuse has gone through the roof since the whole pandemic. You have people who they have no jobs, they have no income coming in. So they're feeling low, they're feeling depressed, they're taking it out on their kids, their wives. Like, it's very sad. It is so sad the amount of chaos and everything that has gone on through all of this. And people just don't think about it. They don't realize it.
Yeah, it's, I don't know. It's just really, it's frustrating to see. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have anything more to say because it's just more of the same. But
Well, yeah,
let's
and you think, sorry, like, and you think too of people who actually do suffer from mental illnesses and they're being locked away in their homes by themselves. Like,
yeah.
the the amount that I have personally witnessed of people who suffer from depression and stuff, and they haven't left their home in months because they can't.
Yeah.
It's so sad to just see the deterioration of people. And
Well, and how the thing that makes me mad, and this is like, I'll hold government to account. I hold our own citizens, our neighbors, our friends, who
yes.
are supposed to be our friends, our families. I will hold them to account too. That you allowed this to happen. You allowed this mass psychosis. You just sat there and you watched them lock people up, fine people. You phoned the phone or phoned the cops on your neighbors.
Yeah, that's so
You
gross.
were the you were the Stasi. You were the traitors to your own citizens. And I'm not okay with it.
No, I think those
Speaking
people should be ashamed
of
of themselves.
speaking of people that Stasi-esque. So this sent me down a tear today. I was super pissed off.
Ruh-roh.
So from Rebel News, Pastor Arthur Pawlowski arrested again for allegedly breaking Soviet-style probation. I thought I sent this to you.
No, you didn't send me that link.
Oh, okay. All right. It be sent. So Soviet-style probation restrictions. All right. So for anyone that doesn't know, so he's the famous pastor that was yelling at the Alberta Health Services, calling them, Nazis, and to get out of his church. And he became pretty famous or infamous, depends what side of the debate you're on. So I'll just, he ended up getting arrested because he would not sign a court order that he wouldn't open his church. He said, absolutely, I'm going to. Where he was, a judge felt it necessary, even though he was doing like a speaking tour to try and bring awareness to what's going on.
Well,
A
yeah, and he was
judge,
also compelled too. He was being told that you're not allowed to say this, you're not allowed to say that.
well, he had to say, yeah, you're not allowed to say this. You have to say that. And fortunately, an appellate court overturned that. But still, the fact that judge felt it okay for someone for a compelled speech. This is why. Okay, so I'll just do the article. Okay, so Pastor Arthur and his brother David were just arrested by Calgary police, apparently for violation of the Soviet-style probation restrictions levied against him for. You ready for the big? What did he do? Was he smuggling guns? Was he giving drugs to children? Was he molesting children? Was he doing terrible, terrible things to other people? He dared to open his church and feed the homeless through COVID-19.
Oh, that's it. Arrest that fool. Oh my
What
God.
a tyrant. What a disgusting human being.
Oh,
Inconceivable selfishness.
to try to feed the homeless during a pandemic? How gross is he?
Not even during a pandemic, during Christmas,
Oh my God.
which is supposed to be the time of family and friends and unity and giving to those that are less fortunate. Giving, it's funny that and the, okay, so anyways, so yeah, feeding the homeless through COVID-19. This is far from Arthur's first encounter with police. He has been arrested in a dramatic roadside arrest and while deboarding an airplane at the airport. If only Calgary police and health authorities exhibited the same level of malice towards gangs and drug dealers.
Right?
Many had hoped that the new year would bring a decrease in tyrannical inclinations from authorities, a decline in restrictions, and an increase in freedoms, with Omnicorp reportedly being a much less serious variant. But today's news indicates anything. Our fight for freedom has only just begun. So his son ended up recording the whole thing, and you could watch the video. It's just crazy because his son at one point says, "Aren't there real criminals to go and catch?" And this fucking pig of a loser cop says he is a criminal.
How? How? Because he's deciding
Defund
to
him.
feed the homeless?
Defund him. Defund him. Black Lives Matter, Antifa, you got to support her. Defund him. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck the cops. Disband them. Defund them. I don't want my tax dollars going towards police. Fuck them. This is
I mean,
unbelievable. This is unbelievable.
I'm
A pasture. This is when the government decides to step in. Government decides to step in and say, "You're wrong because we said so." From decree, not something voted on. Ralph, I'm still waiting for that phone call. It's crazy that so many people just fell apart. They just wanted to comply. Oh, it's just 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Oh, it's just like I was watching a thing from Viva Fry. So he has a YouTube channel. He's a lot smarter than me. Okay, let's just put it that way. He's much smarter than me, but he comes from the same kind of side, very liberty mindset. The individual, responsibility. It comes from that kind of same mindset. And the one point he made was when people were saying, like the mask type of stuff, that the masks are, it's a way of complying. Eh, I was kind of the same thing. Like it's a mask. I understand the frustration, and you know what? There are times when I go into a business and they say, "Hey, you need to put a mask on." I leave. I say, "Fuck you." I was literally buying a coffee at a place. This was in Toronto, not in Toronto, just outside of Toronto, and I was just grabbing a coffee. And the lady says, "You need a mask on." I said, "You know what? Fuck yourself," and I dumped out the coffee and I walked out. Sorry, I'm not. I'm just not going to support your fucking business. Then, not interested. Like I'm not. I'm done. From the start saying, I feel terrible for restaurants. Some of our friends that own businesses and saying, I think of you guys because you're just a small place. You're not a big multinational corporation. You're a small mom and pop shop. So I think of you guys where you're almost put out of business, almost homeless. That's where I get mad. While Walmart, Amazon, Superstore, you name all the big box stores, made billions, billions. So whatever. With the mask stuff, you know what? Whatever. I'll wear a fucking mask. And the people that are saying, "Oh, well, this isn't about health; it's about compliance." The more that I see about trusting the science, trusting all this stuff. We went from 2 weeks to flatten the curve. Don't forget this. We went 2 weeks to flatten the curve to you need a piece of paper in order to go get food, in order to leave your home. That and so I think people just want to be controlled. And I've brought this up before. People are they need to be controlled. They don't want to think for themselves.
It's
But
definitely
it is
seeming
crazy.
that way.
Like
100%.
and I know you and me were kind of talking about this earlier, and I said like Canada doesn't feel like home. Canada does not feel like home. It's one thing, I say I'm fortunate that I was able to be born in a Western civilization and I was able to experience what democracy is supposed to be. What this is, what's being pushed is not. I just seen this thing on Twitter that YouTube has pulled down the Joe Rogan little clips from Dr. Peter McCullough and Dr. Peter Malone. These are
Why?
two doctors that because they gave medical advice. It's funny because the NFL is using the same treatment to treat any of the players that come down with COVID. It is the same treatment that all politicians in the US have gotten if they've contracted COVID. The same treatment that Dr. Peter McCullough has pushed. The only thing to help keep people out of hospitals. YouTube has pulled it down. So these are
Wow.
actual doctors. Big like these aren't nobodies. These are two very prominent doctors, very well educated. They are masters in their field.
Yes, but the government has decided that what they're talking is
Not even
gibberish.
government.
It
Not even government. YouTube, our new government. So yeah, I guess yeah, our new government.
yeah, they decided that, "Oh, okay, this doesn't fit the narrative that we want. We don't want a treatment. This is bullshit, so let's remove it." Okay.
Bologna sausage. Yeah, I like bologna sausage. Sorry,
That's
I'm
how
stealing that one from the quartering.
I don't even know what that is.
The whatever. It's a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Um, no, but so it bothers me. It really bothers me how fast people just folded. And like I said, Canada does not feel like a home to me. I'm happy where I was born, but I'm not proud of where I was born now. I feel embarrassed. I really feel embarrassed. When you see stories like this, when you see, Quebec goes back into a lockdown, when you have politicians just saying, "Oh, well, we need to do this." Like, we need to lock things down. We need to fine you because you want to go see your friends and your family, that have been locked away for 2 years.
Yeah, but remember, guys, these are the criminals. Not the people who are pushing drugs to our kids or breaking and entering or stealing cars or murder or worse. No, it's the people who are deciding to visit with their friends and families during this whole pandemic. Those are the
Sure.
criminals. Now, whether somebody is vaccinated or not, let's just say if I'm vaccinated and I'm hanging out with someone who is not vaccinated, that's my choice. I'm
Well,
I'm
I want to,
taking
try and keep it a little bit closer to this story because it's more the fact that the police felt it necessary and they felt justified in arresting a pastor for opening his church and feeding homeless people.
well, no, I know, but this is kind of where my point is going is that regardless of my vaccine status or others' vaccine status, I'm taking the proper measures to make sure that I am safe and that other people around me are safe also. Now, with this pastor, yes, he opened up his church to feed homeless people, which, okay, for one, I'm sure it was a lot cleaner and a lot more sanitary than them digging in dumpsters like they're probably used to. And that would be a lot more health concern, I guess. I'm pretty sure people were keeping their social distancing and they were just helping people. They were clean, they were social distancing, they were helping people. And then this is what you get arrested for.
This is when the state feels justified. So, one thing that I brought up on Facebook was the banality of evil. And I'll just, banality of evil. So, people think, I'd say it's probably quite common that people think that, like, it's like it's the politicians or whoever. Let's whatever. Okay, sorry. That someone is doing something knowing they're doing something wrong. Like, in Nazi Germany. I know everyone rags on the Nazis. Well, you kind of started it first. You started it twice. You started it twice. First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. Okay.
Remember, people, he was voted in. He didn't just all of a sudden come up out of nowhere and take over. He was voted in. Remember
Yeah.
that. So the
Yeah.
definition for the banality of evil.
Sorry, I'm just pulling it up because okay, so this was coined by political theorist Hannah Arendt after watching the 1961 trial of Nazi US or Nazi US, Freudian slip, sorry, Nazi SS officer Adolf Eichmann. This spare phrase captured the idea that evil acts are not necessarily perpetrated by evil people. Instead, they can simply be the result of bureaucrats dutifully obeying orders. To which I added, I would also add its citizens obeying orders. So it's not like some politician just says, we're going to exterminate the Jews. Well, Hitler did kind of do that. But it doesn't start as that. It's these people are, they're infectious, they're uneducated, they're hurting our economy. So we need something to help the rest of us. So it's not one single act. It's it becoming more and more okay. A terrible word to you, but it became more accepted to marginalize, to dehumanize. It became more and more apparent, became more and more accepted, I should say.
Yeah.
And then people just think, oh, well, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. And that is supposed to be one thing that we would never let this happen again. And we are letting it happen right in front of our eyes. It bothers me. Well, hold on, sorry, maybe I'll finish the point. But so it becomes more and more prevalent. People start, well, if you want to help the government, if you want to help the country, you'll phone on these people that are doing terrible things. You're doing it for the right reasons. You need to phone the police on them. You need to tell your government that these people are bad people. And it continues. I would look at it almost more like just brainless zombies. They just follow. They aren't inherently evil, but they think they're doing the right thing, or they don't even know that they're doing anything. They're just being controlled and told what to do. This is why Dr. Peter McCullough brought up the mass psychosis. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is a mass psychosis.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. 100%.
It really let's see if I don't know. I post so much shit in our Facebook group. But it was let's see if I can find it. But it's Canada doesn't feel I'm not proud of Canada. I'm not proud. I'm proud of what Canada was. We fought. We were Canada was the tip of the spear in World War One. We liberated. We liberated. Is it? Was it? Oh my god! What is it? Poland? Was it I can't remember. There's a place that actually made flowers that resembled the Canadian flag, and every year on November 11th, they send over these flowers. They're red and white flowers for Canada liberating them. Uh, it was the Netherlands. Okay.
Oh, yeah, sorry, my mic was muted. Yeah, it's the Netherlands. But it wasn't just any flower. This was a tulip bred by the Netherlands as a special gift to Canada. The flower was actually created to look like the Canadian flag. And in its official flower, the Canada's 150th anniversary, and you can buy it right here. So, yeah. And then
So
it just says, why did the Dutch send such a cool gift? But you just explained that.
yeah, yeah. For us going in there and helping Europe, stopping the rise of of mass murder. I'm proud of that. There are also things that I'm not proud of. I'm not proud of being told that because of your skin color that you're inherently evil. I'm not okay with that. So I found the thing. So the mass formation psychosis. So a group think that develops that's so strong that it leads to something horrific. So I know we brought this up before, but so number one was prolonged isolation. You could think lockdown. Two, withdrawal of things, taking things they used to enjoy. So think of going out to see your family, your friends, going out to a restaurant, to a movie, to concerts, to, that type of stuff. Number three, constant, incessant, free floating anxiety. What I had quoted here was thanks to CNN saying the death ticker is gangbusters for ratings, or the constant updates with case numbers. Like I get those updates on my phone every single day. I get multiple times a day. I get multiple updates. So there's a prolonged feeling of anxiety. People are scared. Number four is the capper, a single solution presented by an entity in authority. So once people are in this type of idea, they'll follow that person, that authority, to the ends of the earth. They'll walk to hell with them because the authority says, "Come with me and I'll save your life." Think of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Come with me
Come
if you
with
want
me
to
if you
live.
Yeah. So you could think of this, it would be something like that. And I strongly agree that Canada, a lot of places are under this mass hypnosis.
Yep, I'd agree with that.
One quote that I had when we were talking about the Nazi stuff. I had that big long article about it. Um, see if I could find it quickly. I think I found it already. No, I didn't. But so, anyways, whatever. The basis of the quote was it looked like a bunch of it looked like the country became psychotic. It was a world of led by crazies. And that's
Sounds like a horror movie.
yeah, and that's what kind of, Germany ended up becoming. Ah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, to
See, I'm
anybody,
trying to
I know while he's looking for this, to anybody who wasn't watching the actual video, the link for in the description for that Canadian flag flower looks freaking cool. It'll be in the description, but definitely check it out. It looks awesome. I didn't even know that story, to be honest. That was something new to me, and it's pretty freaking cool.
yeah, it's well, anyways, I don't know. I can't find the exact quote right now. But it's just it's really bothersome. So you know what? Like I said, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, yeah, defund the cops. Defund
Eh,
them.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say defund the police. Like, I really don't believe in that whatsoever. I think though bad cops should be removed. I would like to know, like, there has to be some sort of personal opinion in that cop's case to begin with, because if say I was being told, okay, I have to go arrest this guy because he's breaking the law. This is your job. This is what you need to do. Okay, fine. So if I go and arrest this man, I wouldn't have anything to say if I didn't believe it. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I didn't think it was right, but I'm doing it because I'm being told I have to do it, I wouldn't have an opinion. So if someone would be like, "Don't you have any other criminals?" To be honest, I'd probably be like, "Yeah, we probably do," or I'd just keep my mouth shut. But the fact that he felt to make the comment that he did, where he is a criminal, if this is really what you think criminals are, we got big problems here. Like, this is not a
So this
criminal. This is a man
so
trying
this th-
to help people.
so this is the quote from Michael Malice. And like he's a pretty strong kind of anarchist. But so the quote that he says is there is no law so obscene that the police would not be willing to enforce it, up to and including the mass execution of innocent children.
Well, that's scary as F.
Yeah. So think that the police are willing to arrest a pastor. I don't um, the fact that they're willing to imprison a pastor, sorry, not pasture, that's where animals graze. A pastor
To be honest, they'd probably imprison that
for
too.
well, I wouldn't be surprised, yeah. Well, they also tried to arrest a kid skating on a hockey rink by himself.
Oh my God, was he not social distance enough from the rest of the world by himself?
Uh yeah, it's funny that it was like six cops had to come and arrest him. A kid
Okay.
skating on the ice by himself. Yeah.
Okay, we're okay. We've gone way too far with this. Like, way too far. This is like absurdity already.
Oh, this was last year. Last year they did this.
Well, it was last
But
year's absurdity, regardless.
so I'm not okay with where Canada is going. I would not consider Canada home. I really wouldn't. And I'm I'm really trying to be like upbeat. I'm trying to try to make those jokes, but it's really bothersome. It's really bothersome how fast how fast people were just okay with this.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I don't want to be a part of it. I will not be a part of it.
and the thing is, it's due to a bunch of lies, though. Like, the thing is, people are going along with a lot of this stuff due to a bunch of lies that's been fed to them for years. And people actually believing the lies. The the government constantly lying to you and, "Oh, just 2 weeks, and okay, you gotta wear a mask, but if you get, vaccinated, you can take your mask off and you can have your freedoms back." Okay, so then you do that. "Oh, okay, well, yeah, you can take your mask off. Oh, no, you gotta put it back on." "Okay, no, we still have to do this. We still have to do that. We're still gonna shut things down." Like, it's been a constant people lying. And the thing is, and people are scared and they're in a panic and, okay, well, we gotta get things back to normal again. Like, people have to be listening. And then they start getting freaked out, getting scared, and because they're constantly being fed fear from the media and the government, like on a regular basis. It's literally just hypnotizing you, subliminal messaging all the time. And
Well, it's not subliminal. It's
no,
overt. It's in your face.
yeah.
It's literally people saying, "Hey, phone the cops if you see people gathering. Oh, did you see if you're going to have people over, make sure that they're vaccinated. You make sure that you see their vaccination card."
I would like to think that there's a bunch of people out there who may have gone with the word in the beginning and, okay, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I got to do this, and things are going to get back to normal again, and then finally woke up and we're like, okay,
That was me.
this is not
That
changing.
that was me. That was
Yeah.
me to an extent. But I
Yeah.
said, like from the start, we didn't know what we were dealing with. Okay, but as more and more information came out, regardless, well, whatever. I don't want to hash. We fucking hash this all the time, and I'm kind of done with it. But the fact, I'll just keep it with this: the fact that the police were so willing, and that an officer said, when asked, "Why aren't you going after real criminals?" and his response was, "He is a criminal." That for feeding homeless people, it is. I don't know. I'm not, and I honestly, I really thought Alberta, that's supposed to be the conservative bastion, the I don't know, the most right wing province. They folded so fast. Instead of doing the right thing, you did the easy thing. Pallister, you're no different. Heather, no different. All these politicians did the easy thing instead of doing the right thing.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. And the thing is, like, I don't understand still to this day how a lot of these things even happened without there being some sort of vote, without people asking the people what they wanted.
Well,
Or
when I finally get a phone call from Ralph Eichler. Sorry, I'm not trying to like single him out, but he's my MLA, or he's our MLA, I should say. I'm still waiting for a phone call back.
yeah, TikTok Ralph. This has been 3 times now it's been mentioned.
Yeah. So I can't remember exactly what I was saying before, because like this pissed me off. This really really upset me, and I don't understand why is an atheist more mad about this than other people.
Yeah, that never really made too much sense to me either. I mean, I'm in the exact same boat, like, it makes no sense. It seems that for an atheist and a quote unquote pagan, we seem to have a lot more compassion for people and understanding and less hatred than a lot of people who spout these things of religion. I don't know. It
Well,
makes no sense.
I think it has to do with people just want to keep their head down. I I think they just, I'll just keep complying. I'll just do whatever they say, and eventually this will stop. And I don't think it is. They've seen like how easy it was. How easy it was when people are afraid and when they're constantly fed to be fearful.
Oh yeah.
Like fortunately, like, talking with my brother, like, I would say like it's not like he sent me down the path, but it was kind of that like that eye opening that things aren't always what they seem. Government is they're not really there for you. And this is why I do not trust government. I do like I don't. I don't well, I'm pretty sure I've said this before. Like, I've looked at running for office,
Yeah.
but actually making meaningful change, like kitchen table issues, not this, not whatever. Like this last election that we had, no one said anything. They talked a lot, but they didn't say a word. They didn't talk about, their policies. They weren't passionate about everything. It was just keep the status quo. Well, I'm going to do what he's going to do, but I'm going to call it something different. Therefore, it's not that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, no one excited me. Only one that actually was saying anything that was like, hey, this is what we need to do. This is what we should be actually enforcing. Was the PPC. And I understand, the PPC has its problems. And this is why, like, I'm not always gonna try and I don't know, saddle up to whoever. It's like, hey, you're saying what I'm liking. So you know what? What's the worst that happens? Well, it's more of the same bullshit.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to vote for a conservative. I'm not going to vote a liberal just because one's red, one's blue, one's green, one's orange. I don't care. I don't play tribalism like that. What are you saying?
Yeah. Well, and that's
But
how people should be. It shouldn't just be, they follow blindly with their quote unquote
mm,
leader that they have
here,
chosen. Like,
hold on, hold on.
and this is how it should be, is people should be voting for, the party that's actually speaking to them, not just if they're a conservative or a liberal or whatever. They should be, okay, well, this person is actually speaking to my beliefs and the things that I actually believe in. Who cares if they're, you voted conservative last year and the last 10 years? Well, if what they're saying isn't true to who you are, why are you voting for them? You should be going by what it is that you believe is right.
Because I've said it before. I don't think people want to think independently. They want to be controlled. They want to be told what to think, what to do, everything. They don't want to be independent.
Yeah,
And
I believe that.
yeah, it's just it's unfortunate. Like, I wish people would just kind of, have a spine, have a backbone, like anything. Or at least if you're going to say like this is why I'm doing this, at least if you were had some, at least if you could give a reason. But a lot of people don't. They just say, "Well, because I have to." Well, that seems pretty dumb,
Yeah.
right? I don't know. I don't know, Kim. It's to try and stay positive, to try and just say like, hey, these are the things, like these are the issues that we're seeing, and we're trying to call them out and talk about them. It's really hard to try and to try and be lighthearted about it. Like, to see someone on Christmas like be locked up. Canada, I don't know where you have gone, but
You've definitely
the
gone wrong.
well, it's like it's like a chick that you used to date. Like you she's totally changed.
Yeah.
The person that provided something to you has now just come back with a ruthless vengeance. Like, they're trying to dig up like any type of dirt you have, and it's just trying to destroy anything and everything when you don't have to. Like, you don't even, the
Right?
thing is, like, you don't you don't even have to do this, but you're deciding to do this.
Yeah. Well, it's people like that, honestly, that just it baffles my mind. Like that, that scorn thing that you hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt you way back. Like, why? Like, okay, yes, it's unfortunate that you were hurt, but why then do you have to try and one up somebody? Just walk away.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, Kim. Like I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I got nothing. I got. I just wanted to stop. Just stop. Stop making me fucking mad. Stop, just like I would love to talk with other people about this and like, hey, let's like have a rational discussion, rationalize your position, and let's go. Like, let's have a discussion about this.
Well, see, and that's those are always the best. Like when you have a good actual deep discussion and you have people on opposite sides of the fence. One believes, let's just say, the death penalty, the other one doesn't believe in the death penalty. Okay. Well, as long as both of you are open-minded and you guys can sit down and hear the other person out, a lot of the times you'll come to some sort of middle ground. Or at least even if you don't sway in your judgment whatsoever, you're still, okay, no, I'm pro death penalty, but I respect and understand where this person's coming from. And there's at least that mutual understanding for one another instead of just this blind hatred all the time. You know what I mean? And of course, I'm just using the death penalty thing as an example. It can go for so many different things in life, but that's the thing. Like, just sit down and have a conversation. And if somebody doesn't believe in what you believe in, that's okay. That's okay. People are allowed to have
Yeah.
different opinions, different thoughts. That's okay.
Yeah.
You don't need to hate one another because you don't think or feel the same. If we all thought or felt the same, there'd be no progression in the world whatsoever. There'd be no new ideals. There'd be no new anything. We would just be
No,
at a
you'd
standstill.
you'd be communist.
Yeah, that too.
Like competitiveness drives differing ideas drive innovation. I think that's true progressivism, not not past racism to correct future racism, like that type of crap.
Yeah.
But I don't know. All right, if you got anything else, or I think we get the hell out of here.
No, I think I'm good. Again, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening to what we have to say, listening to our opinions. And don't be afraid if you don't agree with them, just leave it in the comment section below. If anybody out there wants to be a guest on our show because you disagree with us, or if you even agree with us, leave it in the comment section below, or you can private message either one of us, either through Discord, Facebook, whichever. But yeah, just want to say thank you to everybody. Hope everyone had a great New Year's Eve and is so far enjoying the new year. And let's just, you know what? Let's just become caring again, looking out for your neighbors, and let's bring all this, I don't know, hatred and loneliness and everything, just put it to bed. Hopefully this year will be a good year.
Well, with the amount of people that are just govern me harder, I don't know.
Oh, daddy.
Yeah. Okay.
All
All
right.
right. Well, yeah. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Okay, bye. I don't know.
Where
Fuck,
you can
I got
see us
nothing.
in the description box below. And we will catch you on Hump Day. Okay, bye, guys.